Right then, boys, so I know what you lot are thinking. Jack, you absolute obese virgin. What kind of video is this? And I know it's not my usual style of content. As you know, I usually do like heavily edited videos, that look like meme sort of content. But it's a tradition on the channel. We've always done it. We always review the icon swaps. As you know, I'm a decent player on FIFA. I'm hovering about that Elite 3 level. Can get Elite 1 occasionally, but that's besides the point. So I sort of know what's best for people's clubs, you know, what the best sort of choices are from icon swaps. But yeah, before I get into this, I highly suggest you check out some of my other videos because they're completely different to this. They're a lot more fun in like comedy sort of base. But it's a bit of a different vibe for this one because we're just going to be reviewing the icon swaps because like I say, it's a bit of a channel tradition. I've had a little look at these so far and we're going to go through each, you know, option one by one and I'll tell you if it's worth it or not. And then overall, I'll say what I think the best option is. And yes, I know my hair is terrible. I look like I've got a beret on. Right, so starting off, we do have the 81 times 25. And for me, this is a banging option because it's number one. You can combine it with like the biggest prize, which we'll get to, the Vieira. Or you can just, you know, go for the packs. And this is only going to cost you 6 tokens, which gives you like 12 left. I'm not going to sit in, you know, and dabble on these too much because I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Because apparently this is a pack. I don't know. But yeah, 84 times 20, these we've already had. I think for the tokens and because it's team of the season, you can get yourself 50, 70 players that are 81 plus, and obviously they keep going up. Honestly, it's fantastic. 6 tokens for these, very good choice. On to 5 tokens for an icon moments pack, which I believe leaves you with 13 tokens if I'm not mistaken. Honestly, again, fantastic. Now you're probably not going to get a great icon, but it's, for me, it's one of them ones where like if you got some coins left over, if you got a few tokens left over, sorry, just whack it into an icon moments pack and you're laughing. Do you know what I mean? It's a good, like, it's a safe play. If you were to go for something like later in the, you know what I mean, you know, if you were to go for like a bigger option, it's a safe play. Bastion Schweinsteiger for me is the first no-go unless you are a, you know, unless you're a big Bayern fan or a big Schweinsteiger fan, or you just like that sexy image, because it is a very nice image. Like he's just a bit behind the power curve now, even at this moments card, unless you're playing him like as a secondary DM maybe, but I think with his agility and balance, he's just a little bit behind that power curve. So I personally would say no. I've also just clocked that I am still in a dressing gown, so if that doesn't deserve a sub, I don't know what does. So for me, the Schweinsteiger's a no-go unless you really like him, or, you know, that's like your sort of thing. On to the 92 plus icon moments pick, which leaves you again with, I want to say, 11 tokens. Yeah, 11 tokens. Sorry, my mental maths is in the mud. Yeah. Oh, and this is actually a attacker or midfielder player. So you're actually getting a 92 plus icon moments attacker or midfielder. So you knock out a lot of those bad defenders. But, you know, it's one of them ones. It's probably, if you want a little gamble, but you don't want to use too many tokens, this is probably a bit better to go for than this number 5 one, because you're guaranteed a 92 plus, you know, and it's attacker or midfielder. Bastion Schweinsteiger, and now for 8 tokens, leaving you 10 left. This is a very, like, if you want to maybe have some fun with some packs, but also guarantee yourself a very nice usable player, like an attacking player, someone that's going to be fun. Not quite the top tier meta, but he's, you know, just that level below that, because he's got, obviously not quite got the 5-star skills or the 4-star weak foot or the 5-star weak foot, medium work rates, and, you know, he's not got the traits. But apart from that, if you just want to have fun and you're not really competing at that top level, then I'd say Bastion Schweinsteiger is actually a very good option. But for me personally, I would skip out on this one. Now, a 92 plus prime icon player pick. It's an interesting one because it leaves you with another 9 tokens, which you could get like the Stoichkov or some of the packs and like a moment. So I don't really know what you could do. You know, that's for you to figure out what you want to do. I'm just here to give you advice. Yeah, then we have the 92 for the player pick. For me, I don't know. I think if you're going for a pack, I think you want to, or a pick, sorry, or a pack or a pick, you probably want to lean towards, you know, the moments players, because I think primes are falling a bit behind the power curve. Now, unless you get something like, you know, Maradona, Pele, Hole, Vieira. Actually, sorry about that. This one is a bit iffy because I've just realised you can't get like Vieira, and I'm sure there'll be some other icons as well that you actually just miss out on getting that are actually like very top tier. So for me, I think this one's safe to say it's a no-go. It's a pick, so it's a little bit of fun, but for me, that's an absolute no. Now we've got an icon moments player pick now, which leaves you 8 tokens to cop yourself a little Stoichkov, a moments pack. Do you know what I mean? I think this is a very solid option because you've got 3 icon moments chances. Like the chances that you saw how good the mid to prime picks were. can you only... I can't even imagine how good this would be. 3 moments you get a chance to pick from. Like, odds are in your favour that you're going to get something decent. Like, you might not get something top tier, but you're definitely going to get something usable. But again, it's 10 tokens. It's an interesting one, and it's hard to compare it. But for me, I would probably say maybe give this a miss unless you really like the picks. Georgie Best, the absolute GOAT himself. 11 tokens. He's a very good card, but for me, I think at this stage of the game, 11 tokens, I'd much rather get one more for this midfielder pick, or, you know, like, literally, let's put it into perspective. 2 more tokens gets you a prime Puskas, who I think will be a lot more fun. But if you like Best, then go for him. If you're playing him striker or something like that, I think I don't know, I think it's a little late in the game for a prime Best. Now, the 1 of 3 92 icon moments midfielder. For me, this is also a very, very good option, because there's a lot of 92 moments midfielders that are very good, but there's a few I think that are a bit below the tier. But the fact that you get 3 picks and they're, or not 3 picks, but 3 choices, and they're all 92 plus moments midfielders, it sort of narrows down that pool to what you really want. So if I were you, if you're looking for a midfielder, like you really want a cam, a centre mid, a right mid, left mid, CDM, you know, and you want to go for a little gamble because it's a pick, but I think this is good because it's fairly safe in the fact that I think you're pretty much guaranteed to get something half decent no matter what, because it's 92 plus and there's 3 choices. And you got to remember, there's still I think like Maradona you can still get from this. There's the Socrateses, the Kakas, so there is still a lot of moments that are really good that you can get from these. Puskas for me, I know I said I would take him over George Best, but if I'm being honest, I wouldn't take either of these. I just think for a 94, you know, I mean, he's not the most expensive on the market, I don't think anymore. Like maybe like 1.5 million coins. That's without me checking, bear in mind. But for me, you don't really want to be putting 13 tokens, I believe, into someone with 3-star weak foot, 4-star skills in. But bear in mind, it's going to be like the end of June, probably, maybe even early July before you can actually get this card. By the time you can actually pick this Puskas, you've got to think Summer Heat, the Euros content is going to be out. So we could be getting like 95, 96, 97 rated players, you know, left, right and centre. So for me, the Puskas is a no. However, the 92 plus icon moments player pick, there is 3 choices you get here, right? You're looking at 3 choices, 92 plus, and they're all attackers. Now, I don't think any good players get missed out here. And you got to think, there is a few stinkers. You know, there's going to be like, there's your Hugo Sanchez, your Van Bastens, your Van Nistelrooys. I think that you can still get. But for the most part, you're getting 3 choices. So the odds are, in 3 choices, you're likely to get one of the big boys. You know, an R9, a Pele, a George Best moments, a Garincha, I don't know if you probably can't get Ronaldinho. You could get out the midfielder one, I think. But yeah, you get the point. There's a lot of really good attackers you can get. So if you are looking for an attacker, for me, for what, 2 extra tokens on Puskas, you can get a guaranteed icon moments 92 plus attacker. For me, I think it's a no-brainer that if you really want an attacker, I would, you know, if you want an attacker, I would say play it fairly safe and go for this. I know it's a gamble, but the chances are you're still going to get something decent. Now we have the tasty one, Rio Ferdinand. I don't know why I said it like that. This one was one that a lot of people were anticipating, and now you might be really surprised at what I'm going to say. Unless you're a United fan, don't go with this card. Now I know what you're thinking, Jack. Shut up, mate. Honestly, like, I've probably made a lot of you lot feel sick after saying that, but I know what you're thinking. Rio, he's probably the best centre-back on the game. One, I don't think he's as good as he has been in previous years. I think that like Maldini, Desai is better. Which brings me on to my point with Rio. It's not worth doing because there is this card out right now, and I think I might have scrolled past it, and I apologise if I have. But Desai has like the same pace, the same dribbling, like I think a bit worse passing, but he has medium-high work rate, so he's more stay back. He's got good reactions, great composure. The difference in the Desai and Ferdinand, for me, is not enough to warrant changing that around. Because what you got to think, Desai, you can get this man for about, in theory, you could probably get that Desai for about 6 icon swap tokens, because all you need to do is take all the little 81 times 25, 83 times 25, bang. You've got fodder in 6 tokens here, you've got so much fodder for that Desai. You're probably near enough completing him. Whereas that would take you nearly 2 months to grind for this Rio Ferdinand. For me, it's just really, really not worth it. If that Desai wasn't there and there was no good icon defenders in the SBCs, I would probably say this is a fantastic card to get and I'd be recommending it. But at this point in the game, where, you know, you're waiting until way after Team of the Season is over to even get this card, and you're going to be using him for 2 months before the new FIFA's out. I think this one's a bit of an L personally. And I will say now, I have completely different thoughts on this Vieira. I know it's all the same things apply, but there's a reason why I think this Vieira is still really worth it. But we're going to get onto the 93 moments pick first. For 16 tokens, I think you're better off getting either one more for Vieira or one less and going for the attacker player pick. Because what you're doing here, yeah, it's a rating higher, but there's still going to be, like, you know, players like, you know, Bobby Moore and players like that. So for me, I think this is, you know, it's a fairly safe bet because I think, again, you're guaranteed, not guaranteed per se, but you're almost guaranteed to get something very, very usable or like top tier. You're going to have to wait until early July, obviously. Late June. I don't really know what the schedule's looking like right now. Yeah, I would probably say this is actually a pretty good one to do. One, because it's great, like, content, and I'm not talking just for YouTube and Twitch purposes. It's great to just, like, it's going to be really fun in it. You say all of your mates save up and you're all opening it, you know, at the same time. That's going to be pretty hype. And I think this is the most fun one and the one a lot of people are going to do, and I don't blame him because I think this is going to be absolutely cracked. I reckon this will be the one that gives out all the moments, Pele's, R9s and stuff like that. So I think if you're looking at this one, it's a very safe bet. And now finally, we have one of the best choices, arguably. I know it's a bit boring. I know it's a bit ratty. But Vieira is honestly one of the best choices there. Now, I'm not saying he's the best because it all depends on what your club's looking like. But for me, I don't know if I'm going to go with Vieira, but I do really need like a good stay back DM. And 17 tokens, which leaves you one more, so you can get like the 81 times 25 to have a bit of fun with. Vieira is the best CDM on the game. Like, whether you want to admit that or not, or whether you've got a player that you like, Vieira is the best. And if you are competing at that Elite 1, Elite 2, Elite 3, Gold 1 level, I would strongly recommend you get this guy because he will absolutely change your game because he's disgusting on this year's FIFA. Like, he's one of them players that is absolutely everywhere. But yeah, this I would advise to get if you really want to up your game and try and improve at the game. I would go for the Vieira. But if you're more of like a person who wants to have a bit of fun, the 93 moments pick, the 92 attacker moments pick, the midfielder, if you're looking for, you know what, you want to stab at Dino or something like that, or Maradona, you know what I mean? So it's all relative to what you personally want. But for me, the Vieira, if you really want to like improve your team guaranteed, the Vieira is a safe bet. And the reason I say Vieira is worth it and Rio isn't is because there's an alternative for Rio in SBCs. And my position on this may change if we get like a mid Hullet SBC, a prime Hullet SBC, or, you know, a crazy like midfielder moments SBC. But for me, I just don't think there's anyone on the game that compares to Vieira, whereas there's a lot of centre-backs that I would say are even better than Rio at this point, Desai being one of them. So yeah, that's why I think there's a bit of a difference between the Ferdinand and Vieira. Anyway, the moment you've all been waiting for is, I'll give you a couple of combos that you can go with. Number one, I'm going to call this the sweaty combination, where you get yourself your Vieira, you bolster up your team, and, you know, you turn into a bit of a rat, but it's all worth it because you've got the best DM / one of the best centre mids in the game. You're happy. Everyone else is unhappy because they've got a face of Vieira. Get your Vieira, get your 81 times 25 and completely dip. You can use your 81-25 now for Team of the Season to have a bit of fun with a pack, and then you save up for your Vieira. That's the sweaty combination. So if you're looking to improve, go for that. The next is something, I'm going to call it the fun combination. The 93 plus icon moments player pick, and there's two versions of this. You go for your moments player pick, and then you go for the 83 times 25. So you guarantee yourself a load of fodder for some of these Team of the Season SBCs, and you guarantee yourself a 93 plus moments pick. I think that's pretty safe because you're guaranteeing your fodder, and you've got something to look forward to. I would personally steer clear of this Rio unless you really like the guy. The attacker player pick is another great one. And how I would run this is your 15 tokens go on your attacker player pick. And then there's two options, obviously. You can either go for the 81 times 25 and the 83 times 25, or just the 84 times 20. If I was in that scenario, I think I'd take the guaranteed 50 players over just the 20, and I'd go with these two. You know what I mean? 50 fodder players, essentially. and you get attacker moments 92 player pick. I'm going to call that the fun combo. The next one, I'm going to call it the volume combination, meaning you get a lot for what you put in. And to start off with, I would get yourself the icon moments pack. It's only 5 tokens, isn't it? It's only 5 tokens. Who cares? It's 5 tokens. You can literally do this now. Then you get yourself the 84 times 25, which takes you up to 8 tokens. And then you've got, you can literally get these 2 right now, I do believe. So you know, you cop yourself a guaranteed moments pack. You can open that now. You can open this now, and then you also get the 81 times 25, which you can also open now. That's 9 tokens. That's your half tokens done. And then after that, you then do your 83 times 25, which takes you up to 11 tokens, which then obviously means you've got 7 left. You get these 4 options. You got 7 left. So what do? You go over and get yourself your 92 plus icon moments pack. So, and it's an attacker or midfielder, by the way. So essentially, you're guaranteeing yourself a 92 plus moments attacker / midfielder. You're guaranteeing yourself another icon moments, by the way, which you can open now. Or you could actually do this right now, you know what I mean? And then you could do the 81 times 25 as well, before the second batch of icon swaps. Yeah, you're getting yourself a guaranteed attacker or midfielder 92 moments, you're getting yourself another guaranteed moments, and tons of fodder to complete all the TOTS SBCs. If I had to advise one where you get the most bang for your buck, I would probably say the volume method, where you go for the ones I've just shown. I think that's probably the best value, but obviously if you want something much better, you go towards the other combinations. But that's obviously not all, and it's just my opinion. Leave your comments and thoughts down below. What combination are you going to go with? I'm interested to hear it. I actually am. You know, if one of you manages to change my mind, I'll pin your comment or something. You know, convince me. I'm open to be convinced. But yeah, thank you a lot for tuning into this video. Obviously, not my normal style of content, but it's a tradition. We always do the best value icon swaps. Subscribe to my channel. Please check out some of my other videos, because I promise you'll like them. If not, you can dislike me, and I don't even know. See you in a bit, boys. Enjoy grinding your swaps.